Hey everybody, welcome to the Stock Car Spectacle. I'm Ian Jordan,
And I'm Tom Hoblin.
and we just got done with a wild weekend at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. All three series had some great races. We're going to be getting into all that. Let's start off with our diecast of the week. Tom, what you got for us, buddy?
I went on a little adventure, went on some Facebook Marketplace adventure. There was a nice gentleman named Dave, and he was selling. He's downgrading with his wife to go RVing, and he was getting rid of his man cave. So I bought some shelving that he kept his diecast on. And I was like, "Well, you got any diecast for sale?" Because that shelving had to hold a lot of diecast. And so I grabbed this from his collection. It's a 2006 Clint Boyer Jack Daniels, and it turns out I didn't even notice this till I pulled it out of the box for the show, but it's his rookie diecast. So
Oh,
I have
sweet.
a few different rookie diecasts. I have Kyle Busch's original rookie diecast, the '84 over here. I think I showed my Denny rookie diecast a few months ago, and now I have a Clint Boyer rookie diecast. So
Nice, man. That's one of my favorite
yeah,
paint schemes right there.
yeah, it was a good car. The thing I remember about this car, it was one of the Daytona races. It finished like seventh on its roof. It slid across the infield grass upside down. Incredible.
Yeah, that was a memorable finish for sure. All right, so NASCAR is heading to Homestead this weekend, so I thought I had to bust out one of my favorite cars ever run on that track, and that is Dale Jr.'s
Mm.
final ride in the Cup Series. They did a great job trying to replicate his old Budweiser number 8, and it's just a beauty. And I got it signed too.
Of course
So,
you did. That's an incredible piece.
oh yeah, one of my favorites of all time, right there. All right, so some big stories. They announced this past weekend that we're going to be having the drivers only broadcast. It will be back this year, but it's not coming to Xfinity. It will be with the Truck Series for the first time. I think that's going to be cool. Going to have a lot of great drivers that are going to be commentating. It's always just so much fun.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a fun way to do it. It'll feel a little different because it's a truck race. It'll feel a little different because there's no studio show. But I think their lineup is really solid, and I'm excited to see who's a Hocevar and who else is in the pits. Oh, Cindric. I think Hocevar and
Yeah,
Cindric in the pits will do really well. We got to get a Toyota driver on this broadcast though.
yeah.
It's all Fords and one Chevy.
Yeah, but all those guys, Cindric, I'm not really a big fan of him, but when he's on the broadcast side, he
Mhm.
is hilarious.
They have a good time.
Yeah, that's for sure. So Traveler Whiskey, we know that they were on that Junior Motorsports entry for the Daytona 500 with Justin Allgaier. Well, it looks like they want to get into more sponsoring for NASCAR. So that would be cool if they could make another deal with a car. I think that was a great paint scheme. One thing I do want to say though, Justin Allgaier, he is the number one driver in merch sales right now, just because of that
Wow.
Daytona 500 entry. They have made so much money off of this. I feel like it's got to give Dale Jr. just a little push to be like, okay, maybe we can buy a charter and maybe we can make some money off of this.
Yeah, I'm skeptical of all this because like it's did Traveler Whiskey get a really good return on investment because it was the Daytona 500 and it was Dale Jr. or are they actually thinking that if they jump on a I don't know on a Kyle Busch or on a Ross Chastain for a one-off race if they'll see the same return? And then yeah, is Justin Allgaier the leading guy or is it still people in love with Dale Jr. and wanting to support that way? Either way, um, like you said, it shows that junior motorsports has a lot of potential if they wanted to pursue a cup, and I think they'd have a lot of fans pretty instantly.
Yeah, no doubt. I think it would be positive for them, but right now, that asking price for a charter is just
Mm.
way too much, and I don't think it's going to be going down anytime soon.
And the volatility with the lawsuits and all that, are they're going back and forth. It may not be the time to jump in here until we learn a little bit more.
Yeah, might have to wait a little bit longer. Speaking of drivers involved in lawsuits, Denny Hamlin, well, it looks like that he's going to be getting a new sponsor. It looks like it's going to be announced less than an hour from now, but all the rumors are pointing towards Progressive coming on board. That we know that Denny Hamlin's been without an anchor sponsor for this season. FedEx left after Phoenix, and he's just kind of got his smaller sponsors kind of coming in to help, and it looks like he's got a big one coming in tonight.
Yeah, this is a really big get and whatnot, and this is something I wish that Joe Gibbs could have pulled off when Kyle was looking for sponsorship. We don't have we've seen a lot of insurance companies in NASCAR, but not of late. I mean, Geico just pulled out. Uh, Nationwide was with Dale Jr. I personally don't understand how a NASCAR sponsorship is going to sell more insurance. I feel like it's a very niche thing, and you just kind of go with what's what's cheap.
Go with the
But
flow.
go with the flow. Oh my goodness! But I am a I. Speaking of going what's cheap, Progressive insures me and my vehicle, so kind of happy that a company I'm already using is now going to be jumping into NASCAR with a driver that I'd like to support. Um, and yeah, it looks like all the rumors of Denny struggling to find sponsorship and all the NASCAR noise and whatnot, the off track noise saying that he wouldn't be able to land stuff like this, it's out the window. I'm interested to see what the deal is. Is it truly an anchor, or is it like the rest of the season sold out? Who knows?
Yeah.
It probably is. Hopefully, it's a long term deal with Joe Gibbs Racing in general. Um, and yeah, it's a good get.
Yeah, we'll see by the hour. Maybe we'll still be recording, and we shall see.
Hmm.
So cool for Denny Hamlin. Cool for a big sponsor like that to come in here. Let's get into Vegas from this past weekend. Friday night we had the Truck Series. Corey Day won the pole. We know he is a young prodigy coming up throughout the ranks. Ty Majeski won stage one, and then race was paused due to rain. Go figure, Tom. We're in
No,
we're in the deep dry desert, and it rains.
hey, I've been to Vegas twice in my life. I was 14 years old and 16 years old, and there's already not much to do for a child in Vegas, and it rained both times I was there. So I know their pain. Um, Lucky for me, I got to watch it after the fact. I was not home Friday night, and so I just got to skip all that stuff. I watched one cohesive race.
Hey, there you go. Yeah, it was pretty annoying. Tyler Ankrum won stage two, but then he did have some issues later in the race with the
Hmm.
45 getting loose. Ankrum had some damage and pretty much kind of took him out of contention. Then came more rain, and how about that big save from Lane Riggs with 25 to go? He got loose coming out of turn two, and he was sideways, but he drifted it. He saved that thing, and he kept on going. Only lost like two positions. Um, this guy,
Incredible.
he's a true wheelman.
I mean, he saved his race there. I mean, he could have easily died. I mean, not died, of course. That's a bit facetious, but like he could have killed his race for sure.
Oh yeah,
I mean, finished top five ultimately, and that thing could have been junked.
yeah, absolutely. So great save by Lane Riggs. And then Grant Enfinger, man, he was oh so close of getting this victory. He was catching down Corey Heim, but man, this kid is just too damn good. It was Heim time on Friday.
Oh yeah, and that's good for me. My pick wins the race. I'll take my extra 5 bonus points because I need them.
Yeah,
I'm still in last. I did not do too well in the next couple races. But yeah, I mean, Corey Heim, mile and a half, can't go wrong.
yeah, it's always a stud at these tracks. All right, so on Saturday, Sammy Smith won the pole, and then it was an early wreck. Lap one, Parker
Mhm.
Retzloff, we know that he's kind of off to a rough start with missing a race. And then William Sawalich also involved. We know he's a young driver as well. One of his first times at this track. So he was done for the day. So, not what you want to see. You want to get that time out there on that track, especially when you're this young. You want to get used to it. And it's just a
No,
rough go of it to start the year.
right, and we hear it time and time again. You gotta run all the laps. You gotta run all the laps, and you definitely can't win on lap one. And yeah, I know you got to be aggressive. You got to go for it. But there's a time and a place, and lap one, turn two is not the time nor the place.
Yeah, that's for sure. And then Justin Allgaier, he had such a fast car in this race. He had a massive lead in stage one. He ended up winning it. And Josh Williams, he was feeling unwell throughout this one, so Ty Dillon stepped in after the stage, finished out the race for him. It was cool. Josh Williams, he still stuck around. He was on top of the pit box, so he was still with the team. But yeah, I'm sure when you're feeling sick like that, all those G forces, that cannot be doing you any favors right there.
Yeah, he said it was a respiratory issue and he couldn't breathe. And so just imagine you're driving down the highway and you can't overcome the tension of your seatbelt with your lungs. And that's probably what he's struggling with. And it's hot. I mean, you try to go for a jog in the middle of summer when it's 100 degrees, you have a hard time getting a deep breath in there. So I can't imagine what it's being like with the extra G forces, being strapped in a helmet, strapped in a fire retardant suit. Like that's got to be a tough one. So
Yeah.
hopefully he can get that recovery and get it done, get better.
Yeah, for sure. So Eric Almirola, he held off Justin Allgaier for the stage two victory. And then, man, another bad result for Carson Quapple. He was running inside the top 10, and something ruins another good finish. This guy has
Hmm.
just been having so many great runs this year, but he has nothing to show for it.
Yeah, it's a little bit tough, but he's here to learn. This isn't the ceiling for him. So he's just got to learn how to deal with it. And maybe if he's having some consistent issues towards the end of the races, it might be a driving style thing. It it could be a whole host of things. It could be a junior motorsports issue or that team issue, the way they like to set up the cars. So something they got to learn and they'll improve upon. But he's showing the speed, which is good, and he'll get the racecraft down too.
Yeah, running out of gas, and he just didn't want to be stuck out there and cause a caution and ruin the race
Hmm.
for his teammate.
Oh yeah, especially when your teammate's leading. Oh, I remember that one now. That wasn't even his fault. It was the car behind him in the pits dragged the gas can out of the box and it slid
Oh,
underneath his car.
that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it wasn't even a mechanical thing. It was just this fluky weird thing and it hit like the gas can hit the other gas man and it caused them to disengage, so they were like 8 laps short. Yeah,
yeah,
I remember that now. Yeah, that's just tough. I mean, you have a good rate and it's got to be demoralizing, but his crew chief and his team at the end of the day are be like, "Hey, man, it's not your fault.
yeah.
It's the luck of the draw. It's how things happen." I mean,
The
he
speed and the
he
talent is there.
they pick a different pit stall, and that's nothing.
Yeah,
They pass something. I mean, that's a one in a million, if not more. So you can't really fault him for that.
yeah, can happen to anybody. And then Justin Allgaier, he gets his first victory of the year, locked himself into the playoffs. No championship hangover for this guy. He's getting started
No,
hot.
no, yeah, he's putting up really good. I mean, 3 top 5s already in the season. 2 stage wins. He's doing exactly what he needs to do to defend this title, and it moved him into the lead in points.
Yeah, so great go of it for him in Vegas. And then we had Kyle Busch in the booth for the CW.
Hmm.
Parker Kligerman was at Sebring for the IMSA race. And I think Kyle Busch did a fantastic job in the booth. I know he hasn't really done a whole lot of races in the booth, but he was fun and he was he's fresh out of these cars, so he knows exactly what he's talking about.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, who better to have in the booth than the winningest driver in the series history? He's basically only raced this style of car when I mean this car's been around for 10, 15 years, and he's had a lot of experience. I mean, a lot of these guys in this series don't even have 100 starts, and he has 100 and something wins
Yeah,
in this car. So uh, he'd be a great get down the line. I think Jeff Gluck said he's like offer him a contract, leave the dates blank, leave the money blank, have him sign it, and tell him when he's ready, he can write down a number and a day, and he'll get started. It was really fun to hear his insight He was calling calling it as he saw it, and you expect nothing less from Kyle Busch. He's not going to worry about upsetting drivers or industry people, he will tell you like it is, and that's what we love about Kyle Busch.
Yep, he is straight to the point. So, yeah, one day I would just love to see
Hmm.
him. When he's retired, I want to see him full time in the booth if he's not Brexton's crew chief by then.
I mean, think about it. You get Kevin Harvick and Kyle Busch together analyzing a race. That would be incredible.
That would be heaven right there, buddy.
Yeah, that'd be so good. And he went on Flow and called the dirt race because he's been getting into dirt racing recently, and they had the bull ring out there at Vegas too in the dirt track,
Yeah,
and he was out there calling races for Flow too. So Kyle had a busy weekend back in his hometown.
yeah, the people love him out there, man. That's for sure.
Hmm.
All right, so let's move over to Sunday for the Cup Series race. How about Morgan Freeman giving the command to start engines? I saw a bunch of people were like, "Wow, didn't really put in a whole lot of enthusiasm into it." I'm like,
It's like
"Well,
90, isn't he?
it's Morgan Freeman. What do you expect? He's not
Yeah.
going to go out there and start screaming. He's going to say it
No.
in that legendary voice of his."
Exactly. You can't really complain about Morgan Freeman being anywhere. I mean, that's a big name coming out to your sport and whatnot. And
And Big Bubba
I don't
Wallace
know.
fan.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Wearing the Bubba hat, telling him to get going. It's really nice.
Yeah, really cool. Michael McDowell, he was fast as hell last year. He got a bunch of poles, and he is on a mission to do the same thing. He got the pole for this race. Good showing for Spire Motorsports. That's their first ever pole in the Cup Series.
For sure. We saw it last year with Front Row Motorsports, and Michael McDowell liked to be up front. He was really fast on Saturdays, and that seems to have carried over to Sundays or to Saturdays. This year, you want him to build up the consistency now for all of Spire Motorsports on Sundays. They have fast cars. They can put themselves in position, but they're not finishing races.
Yeah, so good for them. I love to see it. Yeah, good start of the day for Michael McDowell, but not a good day when it comes to rear tires. First up, number 19, Chase Briscoe. The team knew it too right when he left that pit stall. The team members were trying to tell him to come back, come back, come back, but it was too late. Wheel came off, and yeah, buddy, you are going to lose two crew members.
And right in the middle of the green flag cycle, just unfortunate for the whole field. I mean, this really put the through the first wrench of many into this race. It was tough.
Yeah, real tough for them. But Austin Cindric, good start to the race. He wins stage one. And then how about this move from Christopher Bell? This is kind of a smart move right here. He had to pit twice on pit road, once in his pit stall and then once in the 19 pit stall. They forgot to tighten the left rear tire, and so he just pulled into his teammates. They tightened it up for him, and he kept on going. That is a smart move because that only gives him a race penalty. He just has to go to the back, but that saved two members from his team getting suspended as well if that tire would have came off.
I mean, it saves so much, so much. I mean, it saves you a 2 lap penalty. It saves you I mean, you use your track position instead of losing your race. And just the incredible wherewithal of Adam Stevens to have the frame of mind to be like, find a pit stall. You listen to that radio, and he's just saying, find a pit stall. And then Christopher Bell starts looking for his teammates, starts looking for anything. He doesn't know where his teammates are on pit road. Um, I'm sure he was looking for a Toyota. I'm sure any of those would happen. And then for him to be able to actually get over there, I mean, he was leaving pit road. Everybody's trying to rush to get off pit road. If you're driving behind him and you see him come up out of his pit stall, there's no reason he needs to be cutting back down. So he said he was waving his hand out the window, and it was really well done.
Yeah, no, I thought that was a smart move by them. Saved them a costly penalty.
And I don't think
Um,
NASCAR needs to do anything about this. I mean, like there's talks about it, but like what can you do? You got the penalty. It's pitting out of your box. It's interesting. It's almost F1 style. Everybody going to the teammate pit stop instead of I don't know. It's odd, and maybe it's unfair, but the pit crews and whatnot, the pit stop society, so to speak, today is so intertwined and whatnot. And there's talks about like, well, Kyle Larson didn't really have to serve his penalty from Coda when he lost the wheel because they just took their B team pit crew from Spire, and Spire had to pay that penalty basically by bringing up their third tier Chevy guys. And so like everybody on pit road knows somebody. Everybody's either leasing a pit crew or making their own pit crews and has some depth in there. So I I think this is going to be okay, but I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? And honestly, I'm wondering about that for Kyle Busch. Lost his tire. I don't know
Mm.
if he'll be able to, because we know that their sister team is Colleague Racing, and I don't know how great their crew members are, because there's not really a big pipeline for them like there would be for Hendrick Motorsports. You know?
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. It's real tough. Kyle had a rough day, uh, and losing two pit crew members. I mean, they were so fast all day. I mean, in the beginning stage, they were. You kept hearing over his radio. They're like, "You're the third fastest car on the track. You're only one faster than you as the leader." And so for something like this to happen on pit road, I mean, this is the kind of things that'll spiral you into a bad summer.
Yeah, not good at all. So he's had some fast cars, Kyle Busch. He's looked good,
Yeah,
but
he's
mistakes
still
like
sitting up
that,
there.
yeah,
He dropped 9 points and 9 spots in the points this week, so that was really tough.
yeah.
I'd started the race at work, and I had paused it after that first caution where Kyle had basically inherited the lead and he was going to inherit the lead on the restart. I paused the race on the backstretch. I get home to restart it, and they came around the front stretch and they're like, "Oh, by the way, you were speeding and have to drop to the back." And I was like, "Damn it!" So it got a little late, and I was tired that day, so I turned it off after like the I think at the end of the stage or close to it, and then I woke up in the morning to watch it, and right after I turned the race back on, his wheel came off. I was like, I gotta stop. I gotta watch all this at once, or every time I stop, something bad's gonna happen.
Bad things will happen.
Ugh,
Oh man.
rough.
Kyle Larson won stage two, and then big wreck on the backstretch. Ricky Stenhouse, Ryan Blaney, and Eric Jones all involved on the backstretch there. Ryan Blaney, we know that this is a pretty good track for him. This is a good track for Penske. He was looking for good results, but not the day he wanted.
No, and he had to pass a lot of cars, and it didn't seem like passing was too easy. And he had come up through the field a couple times, so he was frustrated. I mean, they showed that camera shot of him mid wreck banging the steering wheel, and then they're like, "Wait, he's still wrecking." That was really funny. But and then Justin Haley was the story of that wreck, driving right between Blaney and Eric Jones. That was really good.
He threaded that needle. Holy
It was
crap.
like they were together and then they came apart just enough time for one car to pass through, and then they slammed back together. It was really fantastic.
That's awesome.
But that one to me just seemed like a racing deal on a restart. Everybody trying to get as much as they can, and there's just not enough real estate out there.
Yep. All right, but a guy who just had such a great day. He's been having such a great season ever since he came over to Wood Brothers. Josh Berry fighting for the lead with Daniel Suarez. Also good to see the speed out of that 99 car as well. But Josh Berry gets it done, and he wins his first ever Cup Series race. What a celebration for this guy. I just thought he is just one of the best guys in NASCAR to just mark it. He's like, just a blue collar guy. And well, a blue collar, I guess. I mean, he used to be a freaking bank teller, but he seems like
Well,
a blue collar guy. But
yeah, no, he came up through the ranks the way that they used to, and I think that's what a lot of people like. It's not just some kid with money getting in there and sitting in the car at 20 years old and being like, I'm a race car driver. No, he he's a champion all over the place. He's 100 plus wins on the local tracks and a national champion on for the street stocks and whatnot. And now he's going to show up here, gets his chance meeting Dale Jr., races for Dale Jr. for a long time, and Dale Jr. pushes him to get in there. This is how the drivers of old came up through the ranks, and it's really cool to see. And then this isn't really a fluke. I mean,
No.
look at Phoenix. He was up there on speed the whole time. And yeah, there was a little bit of jiggery pokery with how the final sequence played out, and it looked like we were going to have another race like the fall last year where they were going to have to try to stretch the fuel really good, and the opportunity arose for some people to split the stage while other people stayed out and just drove slow. They chose to stay out. It worked out for them that caution came out right as people were pulling off the track, so they had less people to beat, and those guys rose to the front and they raced a good race. They weren't the fastest car. This top five, this race, probably not the fastest cars in the field. Maybe William Byron counts, but like they played it well, and those guys were up there the whole race. I have no problem with this win, and it's just really good story overall, and a really good win, really
Yeah.
good race.
Yeah. Fantastic Vegas race. And Josh Berry, just such an awesome job getting that one done. Like you said, not a
Mhm.
fluke. He was there when it mattered, and he just looked so damn fast. So, congrats to that 21 team, man. They got win 100 last August, and now they're already at win 101. We're at 99 for a
Mhm.
while, so maybe we can start stacking up some more wins for the Wood Brothers.
Well, and this team hasn't always been bad, and they've always had Penske help since I can remember. So you just need the right driver crew chief combination. I also think that Daytona win last year, this is a domino effect of that, where they get into the playoffs. Now they get the playoff points finish instead of the 30th points finish. They get a lot of extra money for that. They can take that money and reinvest it back into the team. Um, and we're seeing that this year. They get a new crew chief, they get a new driver. They're going to make it happen, and they're showing speed early, which is all you can ask for.
Yeah, love to see it for NASCAR's oldest team. But guys, when we come back, we are going to be making our picks for Homestead, so stay tuned. Alright guys, welcome back. We are going to be making our picks for Homestead Miami Speedway this weekend. We got all three series running, so let's get into it. The Truck Series kicks off with the Baptist Health 200 mile race and 134 laps. Grant Enfinger won last year, and Toyota, they dominate this track in the Truck Series. They got 12 wins here. So you might want to look out for them this weekend. Some notables: Brandon Jones, he'll be in that one for Tricon. Kyle Larson will be in the 07 for Spire. And Ross Chastain will be in the 44 for Nice Motorsports. Let's kick off with you, Tom. I know we got the order, but it doesn't matter. We already made our picks, so
Mhm.
Tom, you go first, buddy. Who you got?
Yeah. With Nick being gone, we made our picks beforehand. So I am going to take Corey Heim. He's going to go back to back. Like I said in the race analysis, mile and a half, it's Heim time. I know there's some bigger names in this race, but I think Heim still will have the consistency and the prowess to put up a good fight against those guys.
Yeah, totally agree, man. I got to go with Raja Karuth. Really good mile and a half racer. He looked good at Vegas before he got caught up in some trouble. But Raja, he will go to victory lane this weekend. Nick, he is taking the easy one. He's going with Kyle Larson.
Man, who would do that? Wow. Kyle
Wow.
Larson at Homestead? How could you pick Kyle Larson at Homestead?
Well,
Jeez.
good thing is he's running
Oh.
on Saturday with the
Oh, he's running Xfinity?
Yeah.
Wait. Who gets to pick first for Xfinity? Oh, it's me.
Yeah.
It's me. I'm gonna pick Kyle Larson. Who would pick Kyle Larson? Who wouldn't pick Kyle Larson at Homestead? I mean, come on. Kyle Larson will rip the fence in those cars. He's got a Hendrick car, the Hendrick motor behind him. I I don't see how anybody else is going to come even close to Kyle Larson in the Xfinity race on Saturday. Especially, I know I jumped the gun on this, but you can go after it. But explain who's all in this race afterwards. But I'm not seeing anybody on this list who's
Yeah.
even going to come close to him.
There's really no other big entries in this one. Chevrolet, they got 15 wins here, dude. So
Hmm.
you're on a good start there. Austin Hill did win last year's race though, so you might want to look out for that. It's gonna be 200 laps, 300 miles, and Kyle Larson's our only notable in here. Um,
Yeah, Austin Hill struggled at Vegas, so I don't know. Maybe they'll figure it out again. Maybe they'll rebound next week. But
who knows?
yeah, it's something to look at.
I'm gonna go with that 41 of Sam Mayer, Haas Factory team. They have impressed me so far this season. Taking the S out of their name did not slow them down whatsoever. So hopefully Sam Mayer can go back to his winning ways. He's good at the intermediate tracks, so let's see if he can get it done in Miami.
Yeah, we've said it before, but we didn't really expect the Haas team to really take any steps back in Xfinity, and they're right. They're so close to right where they were last year. So I think that's a great pick.
Absolutely. Nick is going with last week's winner of Justin Allgaier. Got to keep the good times rolling. This guy, he's just good at any track that we go to.
Hmm.
So that's just a solid pick right there, Nick.
For sure. I mean, he's the points leader. He's gonna, he's gonna show up to the front end of these races every week. And speaking of that, last week I made a point about picking somebody who could finish the top 10. Didn't matter. You guys picked 1, 2. I was kind of left in the dust. So Ryan Sieg, though, did run very well, even with the shifter issues he was having. So I don't hate my pick. I just hate that you guys picked first and second. I could have picked anybody in that field.
Dude, Ryan Sieg is always a solid pick. That's a guy who can
Hmm.
just quietly give you a top five.
For sure. For sure.
All right, so let's head over to Sunday for the Straight Talk 400 mile race, 267 laps. Tyler Reddick won last year. We know he is good at ripping that fence. Ford and Toyota, they have 8 wins apiece at Homestead, Miami. So make sure to keep that in mind. And actually, Chevy is not far behind with 7 wins. So it's kind of all across the board on which manufacturer can get it done in Homestead. But
It's such a great racetrack, and it's so evenly balanced, and it feels like you got to hit the setups right, and it seems like any team would be able to do that at any given week. So I'll just say that it's a shame that we're talking Homestead already, knowing we only go once a year.
uh,
Like Homestead feels weird in March,
yeah,
just feels weird.
this needs to be a playoff race for sure.
Hmm.
But Tom, you're gonna
I wonder if they'll race it like one. Or that's the thing. It's like if it's not in the playoffs, they may not push as hard. They may not do things they might try to pull in the playoffs. And so, will this race be as exciting as it was last year?
I still think it will be. Homestead still puts on a good
Hmm.
race. Um, yeah, I don't think. I mean, I think it does matter in a sense of like some drivers absolutely have to go for it. But I mean, you're
Yeah.
still gonna have some drivers just go absolutely balls to the wall. I mean, Noah Gregson, he loves this place. He is looking to have a good finish here, so we know that he is going to give it his all when he is going to be ripping those fences, trying to copy
Hmm.
what Kyle Larson and Tyler Reddick do.
For sure. For sure. I worry the intensity will be lowered, even if it's ever so slightly.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. All right, well, you are up first, my friend. Who is your pick for the Cup Series race?
We saw 3 drivers going into the final corner last year in the fall, and there was the one that entered leading. I don't think he's going to make that same mistake this year to give up that lane. I think he will make the right decisions, and I think the 12 car will go to victory lane. Ryan Blaney.
Smart pick. I like it. Nick is going to be taking Tyler Reddick. Solid pick. He can rip the fence. He won here last year. And I gotta go with Young Money, Kyle Larson.
Mm.
Everybody picked Kyle Larson in one of these races.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, how can you not? Especially when he's running all three, he's going to have the track time. And we each got to pick a Kyle Larson, so it feels fair to me.
yeah, right. Yeah, it feels absolutely fair. That's true. But I think we all got some solid picks this weekend, and we're going to see some solid racing back down in Homestead.
I don't know. We're not really going out on a limb here, picking the 1, 2, 3 finish from last year, though. So
yeah, right.
but that's okay. Still looking out for that Denny Hamlin announcement. I signed up for a sneak peek, but they didn't give me anything, and it's supposed to happen in 5 minutes, I think. So
do you get the Joe Gibbs text?
I do.
So do I.
I see a blue car. That's all I see.
Yeah.
But they post on social media, like, you could text blue to the Joe Gibbs texts, and we'll give you a sneak peek. There's been no sneak peek.
Bastards.
Oh well. We'll just have to find out. Oh, hello.
Oh, and we got our co-star filling in for Nick.
Uno says hello. He likes to sit in my lap when I'm sitting in my computer for a while. Forgive me. Yeah, no, really good weekend. Where was Joe Gibbs racing? All on Sunday. Really strange. We say that the cream was going to rise to the top of the 1.5 miles, and Joe Gibbs Racing has some issues if they're not going to show up at the 1.5 miles.
Yeah.
That's going to be a problem.
A lot of issues on pit road and just mechanical issues. And Ty Gibbs, man, oh man,
what's going on with Ty Gibbs?
Yeah, for real.
He's regressing.
This is his third full-time season? Second full-time?
Yeah.
No, I think third full-time season.
Third, yeah.
And
he didn't even really go through a sophomore slump. He was pretty solid the first half of last year. It's really when the playoffs started that he kind of fell off the deep end, and it's not getting any better. So, really interesting to see. I wonder if Ty Gibbs was still not feeling it from that wreck he took at the dirt race. I don't know if you saw that, but he flipped a few times.
Yeah.
At the dirt race, so maybe, but I don't know. I don't want to put poor performance this week based on that when he really hasn't shown up the last few weeks.
Yeah. Well, we just started getting back to some of the normal tracks for the past few weeks, so maybe it'll take him a little bit of time to adjust, but just got to say I'm not mad about it.
As it concerns me as a Toyota fan that one of their cars is struggling, and like when you have a race like this when everybody struggles, it seems, then it kind of makes you raise an eyebrow. But then again, Bubba Wallace ran really well, gained the second most stage points that race, so 2311 has it figured out. I think Joe Gibbs Racing just kind of missed the setup this week, and they'll look to improve that in Homestead.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, Tom, got anything else to add before we end the show here, bud?
No, man. Ford is off to a much better start this year than they were last year.
Yeah.
And so, hey, maybe it's Toyota's turn. I don't know. I mean, I guess Christopher Bell won 3 races already. So.
Yeah, what do you mean it's Toyota's turn?
That's not a, yeah, why didn't he win again? But, yeah, no, we've had a really even start to the season. I think we've had really good, intriguing races, and I can't wait to see Homestead. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, can't wait to see how it goes this weekend. But guys, we want to thank you for joining in. If you haven't yet, make sure to like our videos, subscribe to our channel, check out all of our links down below. Make sure to share this video with your friends. So for the Stock Car Spectacle, I'm Ian Jortson.
And for Nick Kinzel, I'm Tom Hoblet.
And we'll see you guys next time. Enjoy Homestead.